Last week, we discussed the advantages of using both soccer-specific and non-soccer specific training to build fitness in soccer players. This week, we're going to look into exactly how to incorporate both specific and non-specific exercises and workouts into a training plan using what is probably the most important tool for any soccer coach or fitness coach, periodization. What exactly is periodization? What's the theory and methodology behind it, and how can it be used to better plan athletic training? We'll be answering all those questions and more today on the Soccer Fitness video blog. Hello, I'm Richard Bucciarelli. This video is brought to you by Soccer Fitness and Speed Training. Please like, share, and comment on this video and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Now here we go. Today we're going to look at how both specific and non-specific exercises and workouts can be included into a yearly training plan and how to best progress between these different types of training for optimal results. Quickly, before we get into it, let's recall that in previous video blogs, I discussed the concept that training load can be represented with the following equation: training volume multiplied by training intensity, and that a good periodization plan must be done by planning training load and avoiding any large spikes greater than 15% in total in TL from one week to the next. So keep that in mind when we look at periodization models in this video. It's clear that both specific and non-specific exercises are beneficial to players. When looking at classic models of periodization, the entire year for an athlete, called a macrocycle, is typically broken up into three smaller phases or mesocycles. 1, the pre-competitive phase or pre-season. 2, the competitive phase or in-season. And 3, the transitional phase or off-season. For this video, we're going to focus our attention on the pre-competitive and competitive phases of the cycle, as this is where the actual team training is done in youth soccer in North America. The basic rule when it comes to planning training is to start with more of an emphasis on general or non-specific training in the pre-competitive phase, and then progress to more specific training as you approach the competitive phase. And this is because as athletes begin their competitive season, the more specific training should help translate better into specific sport performance, and it's much easier to integrate technical and tactical aspects of training with physical training in soccer when the physical training is done on the field with the ball. But this doesn't necessarily mean that you focus exclusively on one type of training or the other within a training phase. A balanced approach is best, with the percentage of time spent on one versus the other changing up throughout the year. Here's an example to illustrate this concept. Let's say you're in the pre-competitive phase or pre-season, and this phase lasts for 8 weeks in total, and your team trains 3 days per week during this time period. This phase can be broken up into 4 smaller phases or microcycles of 2 weeks each. During each of these microcycles, the percent of time spent on specific versus non-specific exercises will vary and progresses from a 66 to 33% split in favor of non-specific exercises in cycle 1 to a 50-50 in cycle 4. Here is what this might look like on paper. As you can see, in microcycle 1, weeks 1 and 2, the total percentage of time spent on general or non-specific training is 66%. That's 2 out of 3 days. While the total time spent on specific training is 33% or 1 out of 3. As the plan progresses into microcycle 2, a greater percentage of time is spent on specific versus non-specific work, 50% for each. And this trend continues into microcycles 3 and 4, with the final cycle having just 25% non-specific work and 75% specific work. Of course, this is simply one example of how to do it, and there isn't just one way to apply the principle of specificity into a periodization plan. All coaches really need to do is to plan and allow for progressions over the course of each phase, with a greater emphasis on non-specific work earlier in the plan and more emphasis on specific work later on. Do this and you'll be well on your way to optimizing your team's performance, and the best part is you don't need to be dogmatic and stick to using only one form of training or the other in the process. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to like and share this video, leave a comment to let us know what you think about the topic, and hit the notification bell to make sure you never miss an update. We'll see you next time on the blog, and until then, keep reaching your soccer fitness goals.